Hello, hello, hello. Everything's fine. Great. Hello, everyone. I am Mollorant, and today we are making a horror from beyond one shot. We worked on this last stream. We're going to continue it today. Dragon Baron, thank you for checking in. Welcome in. How are you today? How's it going? It is going good. So I'm just a little bit tired because I just did a bunch of running around, but your boy's got glasses now. Out here looking smart. But today is going to be another workshop where we are going to be making a one-shot for The Horror Within by the Arcane Library. Thank you to the Arcane Library for making a wonderful module of which I can run. The game itself is available up on my startplaying.games account where you can hire me as a GM. There's already one active listing for the Crypts of Azarum, and once this is all put together, it will also be available in the same place. So make sure that you are following me there. Just keep an eye out for whenever I post a game. I'm gonna go ahead and get you guys a link. 1 second. Gonna get the linky link. Profile. View my own profile. They should really make a view profile button. Here we go. That is my official GM page. Any games that I make will appear on there. Or you can find it organically through Start Playing. Find Games page. Oh, excuse me. Hopefully, if these look interesting to you, then you will join me. Let's see here. I could go ahead and put this away. Don't need it. I don't know why this is buffering. It's fine. So when we left off, I was doing some 3D modeling. I'm still working on that, but I'm going to keep most of that in my off time so that I don't bore you guys. Instead, we're going to move on to the exciting part of the module, making it. So in order to do that, we're going to need a scene. So we already have the Langhouse. We already have that in 3D. That's cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and make the 2D of the Opera House that the game calls for. Then I'm also going to map the walls, map the windows and doors and stuff so that I have the 2D version. So the reason that I'm doing this is because not everyone's computer is powerful enough to render a game in the web browser. Some people join from potato laptops, and you still want the game to be accessible. So the 3D plugin does allow you to freely swap between the 2D map and the 3D version. And I could do this in one of two ways, where I can either create two separate maps, one 2D, one 3D, or what is going on over on YouTube? Everything was fine and then now it's not. What was I saying? I either make two separate maps or I can make the one map with the 2D toggle, but the 3D assets will be shown weird. Me personally, I like having a 2D and a 3D version so that if people are having an issue with the 3D at the start of the session, then I just hop over to the 2D. So today we're going to work on the 2D. In order to do that, I need to make a scene. Why is this showing funny now? Oh, right. That's why. Create scene. I need to get the name of it. One moment. Do the Horror Within. Do. What is this? The Monvo Theater. Monvo Theater. I'm not going to enable 3D just yet. Okay, gonna save. So the reason I didn't just immediately go into the scene yet is I still need to grab the map and its size. So let me navigate to my one shots here. Why is my phone going? Stop that. One shots or within. Maps. PTT maps. All right, what are your actual dimensions, my friend? For that, I have to download you because, of course, Google Drive doesn't show shit. All right, it is 4053 by 5672. Configure 4053 by, oh, right. 4053 by 2. Come on. 5672. Just save. Gonna pop on over here. So that would have given us the start of our grid. So now we get to import the actual map. Basics, background. I'm gonna have to upload it. So where's then Convo Theater. Drag it there. Save changes. Oh. So in a perfect world, you could just go ahead and play right off of this. Grid doesn't line up. We can fix that. So configure. Okay, look at the grid. Grid needs to offset now. That's not doing it. That's not moving it either. Here we go. And offset. Wait, no. Grid size. Let me just dial it up until one of these squares matches up with our grid. Actually, dial it down. Like, way down. My bad. I'm dumb. Welcome back from the ads, everyone over on Twitch. It would help if we're looking at a part with the grid on it. Then back to scaling. This is the part that I like the 3D canvas for. Just because it doesn't do the grid, so I don't have to deal with this anymore. That looks almost it. There we go. And save changes. Yes. There we go. Save changes. So now our grid in Foundry matches up with the grid of our picture, of our map. So that means, why do we care? I take my noble token in 2D. If I move around now, it actually moves properly. Great. So next is the walls. So there are a few types of walls. There's walls, secret doors, windows, and invisible walls, as well as ethereal walls. They all have their individual uses. Regular walls are for, walls, traditional outside walls. Things like this railing I would put as an invisible wall, so that they can see through it. It's not meant to obstruct vision, but it does block movement because I don't want a token to be able to go from here all the way over to here without calling for like a jump. So we can go ahead and knock that out right now. Obviously, I'm going to place a door right here. So in order to start that, we go to wall controls and we start basic walls. I always start in basic walls because it's easier to flip-flop between all of them. So we're going to start here, and we're going to try our best to follow the grid. Going to hold control, which lets me continue it along. I don't have to draw every individual tile. That was just a weird tick. You just want to get the perimeter done. Trying not to go inside the wall too much because we want the players to see that there's a wall there. Because if you place these right on the inside, then all the players will see is just a cutoff to darkness. They won't see why, and as such, maybe won't understand what it's for. So we place them inside the wall, block any view from outside, but also to show the illusion that there's a wall here. Okay. All of the perimeter. I'm such a nice DM doing all this for my players. Because I've never liked the idea of just plopping an image of a map down and using like really bare bones Foundry functionality. Like, you're in Foundry, do Foundry stuff. Damn it. Damn it. And that's good enough for government work. Gonna move this over. Wanted to better represent the door's dimensions. And I'm also going to delete that point. Fine, I'll delete the whole thing. It doesn't matter. Okay. And there we go. There's our door. So before I go walling the other stuff, we have a door here. Might as well take care of it, right? Double right click brings up the properties. And as you can see, door type, door. Blocks vision. And it leaves the players inside. Gonna go ahead and put a sound to it. This is still D&D. So this isn't going to be like some fancy sliding door. It's going to be like ye old opera house. So I want some type of wood, right? I'm still getting used to my glasses. So we're going to do sliding wood. I'm actually missing a few sounds, but it's okay. Sliding wood. So whenever they click on the door tile in the middle of play, they'll hear that if it came through. I don't know. It doesn't need an animation. In version 13, this window's bugged, so I'm gonna tab my way on down here and update wall. There we go. So the line turning blue is an indicator that it is now a door. There was no sound. I believe it. I think the music's overriding. It all goes through the same source. Let's see. I don't want to do these just yet. Let's look at this area. Just a wall and a door. So second verse, same as the first. Drag that down, hold control. I'm holding shift because I'm silly. Draw out the... I'm going to restart the line. Fuck it. There we go. We're just going to... Since we have a wider type of wall here, I am going to continue it down and kind of meet that point. But I'm also going to do the same thing there. Just because I don't want the players to see the gap. And door. Lighting wood. Update wall. Oh, look, another one. Drag up. Try and keep it straight. Best we can. Give me door. What? Okay, so. Ooh. I am the only sound? Oh. There, now you can hear from my Final Fantasy VII lo-fi beats to stream to. How about now? Alright, it was just some routing issue. It's fine. Alright, so we run into an interesting thing with the curtain. I don't know if it opens during the story. What I can do is I will pop back over to the module. Let's see here. Outside. Get inside. Launch control. So this has an interesting note that I could use for the 3D version. Oh, I'm getting a phone call. Sorry about that. So this has an interesting note that you wouldn't know from the map. The theater itself has a facade, so it's a front-facing fake of a building to give the look of a building, and then the actual building hidden behind it. Hidden behind it. So when I'm making this in 3D, I can just design a facade and have that presented to the players. And the facade actually matters because apparently there's a way to sneak into the theater that way. Let's see, and let's see. Curtain to rise. Cases, red velvet lined boxes. So it doesn't look like the curtain moves. Maybe it'd be a cheap little shortcut for the players. So what I would do in order to draw these is I would have most of the wall, and then I would have like a some type of wall that doesn't block movement but blocks sight, just to give the illusion that the curtains are closed, but they can go through this middle gap right here. So to start, gonna drag out from over here, get a little bit of a wall, cover the door here, gonna block out with the curtain. I'm gonna match this 5-foot tile, and then back over here. Gonna handle the door. Not in my house yet. Okay. People working out food. So just gonna handle this door real quick because we're already right here. Lighting wood. Door. Lighting wood. I don't have a custom sound for the curtain. I'm not going to worry about a sound there, but not going to block movement. So that would mean, okay, I marked it as an ethereal. So what that means is if a character were here, and let's go ahead and get the token vision so that you guys can see what I'm talking about. Of course. Figure, lighting, fog, global illumination. Nah, turn that off. I probably just have to set some lights down. But anyway, that means if they reach this middle token, or this middle tile, they can pass through into the room beyond. But it's still blocking vision. That's because I haven't activated DnD the vision module. There we go. So they go through, they can see the room beyond. See? Great. Fog of War exploration. Perfect. So the curtain works as intended. So the question becomes, do I make these stairs a different level? That they have to take these in order to get up to, or do I... No, I'm just making more work for myself. This would be like 5 or 6 feet high. If I wanted to do the levels thing, then I would have to crop out this part of the tile, this part of the tile, that part of the stage. Then I'm just dealing with a whole bunch of like height issues and stuff that no one's gonna care. No one cares about it. Like maybe I could take care of it in the 3D view, but in the 2D, simple is better. Get it done, make it good later. So they're gonna be able to move up on the stage. I am gonna put invisible walls so that they can't walk off the side. They can't just, oh no. I mean, it's only a 5-foot difference. If they're going in from the side, maybe I can just call for a climb check if I'm feeling petty, because I think they're just moving around during this phase of the game. So I think that is fine. Let's see here. So we still have to wall all of this stuff to the doors. That's a lot of doors. And then these rooms. So I'm gonna start with these rooms. These are kind of basic, and it'll help me with blocking off the back part because there'll just be a wall right here. The shadow on the back part of the stage shows that these walls go up higher than the stage, which means the players can't cross over. So that's fine. And it looks like these are makeup areas. I don't know what this booth is. And another makeup area, probably like a his and hers. So drawing walls. Handle the door. Door. Get the partitions going. I'll correct the placement of this. Then yeah, stab it. Stab it. Do the same thing over here. There we go. Now we can set up our doors. Wood. Go. Door. Like wood. As you can tell, a lot of this is repetitive. But eventually you get fast at it and it doesn't mess with your delivery time. So that handles the stage, curtain, backstage area. I'm gonna put an invisible wall here, except for the stairs. Just so no, because again they could just jump down. It would be like 2 or 3 feet down. No, they can do whatever they want. They want to take a header off the stage into the orchestra pit. That's on them, and they'll take the appropriate damage. See. I guess it's about time to stop procrastinating and handle the VIP booths. So this one we've already got prepped for the corner. So time to continue. So I'm not going to block vision here because this is like a half wall for the balcony. I'm gonna start that. All right, let's configure this. Norm movements, we want them to be able to vault over. Sight, none. They can hear through it. Light goes through it. Good. Not a door. Wall height top. Let's. It didn't really give me the dimensions here, so let's assume the standard room here is like 10 feet, with the theater reaching up to like, I don't know, 50? Would 50 be a good one? And wall height bottom 0. 0 being the absolute like index. 0 is the ground. Don't need to check tiles, don't need triggers. Update wall. So if you see these numbers, it is the level system in action, which you'll really get an understanding for when I go to the 3D mode. I wish there was a way I could choose the perimeter. Rain walls, visible, ethereal, doors, secret door, windows. Together, freehand, fine. Yeah. Should have. There's really no way to do it as I go. So I'm gonna select all the perimeter walls for this area, because the height for this area is pretty uniform. Yeah. because it's not going to be a standard theater. So, and yeah, 10. I said 10. Oh, I have to do them one at a time, don't I? There we go. All heights, top 10, 0, update. Did I do all of them? It looks like it. Cool. Now I can come back here. I'm actually going to set this to 5. Again, half wall height. Update. This will also help the cover system. Actually, they're going to be looking over in its balcony 2. There we go. So, in theory, if this is in combat and the PC's over here and an enemy's over here, it'll provide cover. And there's other rules for that I won't get into today. So let's go ahead and do more walls. You can kind of see why I'm just knocking this out right now instead of, you know, dragging it out or procrastinating onto something potentially more interesting. That normal, block that, mouse right, mouse down. Again, this is 2, 0. Update. Yeah. And this is a door. So to further understand why I went through setting all this up, I'm gonna make this wall 20 feet high. Like this whole area back here will be 20. These rooms are gonna be 10, so like a tiny box within a larger room. The doors, of course, are gonna be 5 because they're 5 by 5 blocks. Let's see. This one, 2. And you. Not interested in messing with any settings other than the height. Set those to 5 and 0. Oh, hello. Frail, thank you for the raid. Dog raid, dog raid, dog raid, let's go! Thank you so much for trusting me with your community. What'd you do? What'd you play? Let's do a shout out. Liza P? How'd that go? Hey, how are you? I am good. I am getting used to my new glasses, so I'm doing this kind of blind. I'm having fun. I'm excited to get back into D&D, trying to make this into technically a career. So yeah. I hope you had a good stream. I played Liza P once. It didn't go well for me, but I hope it went well for you. So we're gonna go into these walls. Oh, attention raiders, for anyone sticking around. I am Mollerant. I am a Lost Boy vampire VTuber. I tend to play horror games or anything graphically heavy. I love RPGs. I love MMORPGs. But I am currently a D&D content creator. And lately I've been working heavily in Foundry. So if you're interested in how D&D is made by a professional DM, go ahead and hit a follow. But if you are tired of streams and you're tired of screens, I completely understand. Go ahead and hit the exclamation point lurk. Go ahead and take care of yourselves. Your needs always come first. Whiffle, hi. Just around lurking because I'm doing a quest in OSRS. Understood. I hope you enjoy your look and that your quest goes well. Gonna go ahead and get you a shout out too, because we shout out the homies. Is that the right Whipple? Were you playing Elden Ring at some point? Found it so good. A group I'm in uses it for Pathfinder. It's very easy to use as a player. Yes, I love the systems. That's why I prefer this over Tabletop Simulator. Making a 3D environment for my maps is easier in Tabletop, but I can now, with the 3D Canvas plugin, do Tabletop Simulator level models. It's just a little more complex, backed by Foundry systems. So it's just been a game changer for me. I'm going to set these walls to 20, starting at 0, update. So the reason I did that is it should show properly. Let me pop over to 3D view. So see, we have different size walls. Granted, the doors aren't smart enough to meet. But here we can see the half walls, technically the cover. Oh, stop that. We can see the doors drawn. Granted, they're slightly different color, but we can see the doors drawn for the dressing rooms already, and they are at the correct height. So like I said, a box within a bigger room. If I apply the height correctly to these walls, it'll fit with these, but I can still set the regular height out here. And in the 3D view, I would also put a facade right here. I would maybe do a roof, depending on how heavy I want to go into the 3D. But this also shows how quickly I can bounce between the two modes. If the lurking because I'm big hungry, understood. Hope you enjoy your lurk. Like, it's already doing its best to make a 3D room. I can 3D model custom walls, 3D model the facade, import them and do all of the 3D myself. This is also a good way to make sure that the walls are behaving. So yeah. And maybe later in the stream or sometime in a future stream, I'll show you what I mean by I can do Tabletop Simulator in Foundry, because this isn't only how it looks. I can put this onto a digital table. I did it last stream. Just giving a more immersive thing, because what I found is with my delivery, what I like is immersion. So if I set them up with a digital table, put the 3D on it with the 3D tokens, then it's like we're in the world of D&D playing D&D, and it's just really fun. It's just a nice touch that I like. I'm probably gonna keep going with it. I have to adjust this wall to the proper height, so that it shows properly. There's nothing I can do about the doors. That's just a limitation that I just have to live with, and it's fine. It doesn't bother me that much. Maybe. But for now, our 2D work is not quite done yet. Also, importing your map and using its floors as the ground token saves so much on resources. Trust me. I tried making the map sections as a tile that I import, and all it did was bog down my computer. My gaming streaming computer struggled to load the tiles. So just having it set as a background image just already in here, the map itself already has a little bit of a background, so there's a clear boundary. Just gives something for the map to sit on in terms of the 3D space that I really like. So we're not going to mess with it too much. The reason I was thinking about the sage was I can pop it out to be its own object. Maybe if I 3D it, I can make a 3D stage, but then I have to deal with the elevation numbers. Like, how high up does the stage reasonably go? How low does the orchestra pit go? How to make that look right, because it'll sink in and be hidden under the map. And then I got to move the door or the invisible gap in the curtain. So as you can see, a lot of technical stuff goes into it that I just deal with, because I still like the presentation. And again, these walls are temporary. What I can do once I have custom assets is I can model the door, I can model the chunk above the wall, and I can place it myself. Because what the module lets me do is import my own 3D assets as tiles for performance sake, And once they are all placed, I can join them as one item, which helps the computer render it faster. So once I have everything assembled and I'm certain of where they go, then I can join everything, never touch it again. It's also how you can make removable lids for your thing. You 3D model the roof and maybe cut it with half the wall, and you place it on top like a cap. And when people want to play, they can either scroll through because the camera will go through unless you turn on camera blocking, or for immersion, you can, since it would all be one piece by the time the players get to it, lift off the lid, set it to the side, boom, they have the rest of the game right there. Like a dollhouse. Get water. But we're not quite there yet. Just wanted to give you a little sneak peek to the 3D, because we still have the rest of this area to worry about. I'm probably gonna set these to be like 5. I'm gonna be faking a lot of elevation until I can get to making this an actual 3D environment, because then I'll be able to do stairs and I'll be able to do lifted platforms, giving it a bit more depth. This is just mocking out the 2D space, and if people want to pop over to 3D, this is what it would look like. It would still give the sense of 3D, the sense of the size of the map, without it being too crazy. And what I would do is I would make a duplicate of this scene, hide all the walls, import my custom walls, place them as needed, set the elevations and stuff, scale them, fit it, cap it, and boom, I have a fully modeled opera house. But that's for me to figure out later. Maybe with the level system, I would set these to be like level 1.5. I don't even know if levels let me do decimals. Then stairs. A lot of stuff to figure out. I'm procrastinating again. I gotta put the walls and doors on these private booths. My bad. Let's do this. We have to continue this wall. We're going to, again, not block the balcony. Just keep going, mark it out. I'm gonna have to do this on the other side too. We haven't even reached the Eldritch yet. It's just all been map modeling. Because, believe it or not, this is an Eldritch one-shot. This isn't gonna line up right. Fine. Angles are always weird in Foundry. Because usually when people draw it on a grid, they don't really line up the box. Like, the door itself is off-center of the grid. The center of the grid square. So these doors are trying to snap to something that isn't agreeing. So now my walls are just going to be off kilter. Okay. I made an oopsie here. I fixed my oopsie. Before we get into the technical stuff, let's go ahead and get this done. This will be a double door. Am I weird for finding these parts fun? Like, this is still enjoyable to me, even though it's like slightly tedious work. Like, maybe it's the same thought as the people that get like Gundams. where it's like, you know, you're locking in for hours of work making something that maybe some people might not appreciate. I think that might be my major fear as a DM, is that I'm more focused on the technical aspects than making a good game. But I've gotten enough positive feedback on the Start Playing website that those angry thoughts are starting to quiet down a bit. Go ahead and get the middle area here. Alright, that lined up pretty good. Excuse me. That is not what I asked you to do, sir. Curse you, WebGL. So I am running this on a server. Server hosted in my own home. There is paid hosting versions like Forge, which I used to use. It's really whatever you have accessible. But Foundry is easier than ever to get shared with friends. This room's just gonna be a funny shape. It's fine. Fine. No one's really gonna comment on it. I think the hardest thing for me as a GM is doing all this prep work and knowing when enough is enough. Because I can get lost in the details like a lot, or features being like, I want my players to be able to do such and such, and then, you know, next thing I know, the sun's coming up and the feature doesn't work. There we go. So now we can go through programming everything. So door, it is a door. Lighting wood, no animation. Wall height, this is in the 10-foot area. Really wish they didn't break the fucking door panel in this version. It is ruining my life. This one, don't block movement. Leave everything else. It is not a door. Wall height 5. Okay. So in the 3D scene, there's a high chance that these areas. Well, no. If I look at the map, these are only slightly higher than the ground floor. There's nothing. There's no stairs leading down into the audience area. Ooh, excuse me. Great stretch for you guys. Yeah, sounded pretty good. This is just my brain fucking thing. Alright, don't block movement. Not a door. Wall height 5, 0. Go. Yeah. Up that. Is a door. Lighting wood. Yeah, now that I think about it, I could probably just highlight a lot of these and just update them the same way like I did the outside. I'm dumb. I'm just gonna do that. Okay, I'll line this a little bit better. Alright. I'm gonna choose all of these and the ones over here. There we go. Not a door, don't block movement. 2, 5, 0. Okay. Go, now I'm gonna choose all the doors. I'm so dumb. I was really gonna go through those all one at a time. Oh my god. That would have been miserable. Sliding wood. And update. There we go. So now I'm gonna go through all the newly made, yep, oh shit. Door. These ones I want to be like grand welcome indoors, so I'm gonna do sliding wood. I'm gonna make these doors 10 feet tall. Update. Now I'm gonna go through the newly made yellow walls and assign their sizes. I'm gonna do it in bulk so that we're not here for 10 hours. The hardest part is going to be selecting all of them and making sure I don't miss any. I didn't assign a size to the door, did I? I didn't. They don't have numbers on them. Gonna have to fix that after these. If I go through and try and adjust them on this bulk edit, then all the doors will become walls or all the walls will become doors, and that wouldn't be good. I type 9, size 10, 0, update. All right, let's fix the doors. Two, and 0. And then to check our work, gonna pop on over to 3D view. Now look at that. If you were modeling that in a 3D software, that would take you days. As it stands now, everything on this floor is modeled. So I have a decision to make. Do I move on to the next area or do I start placing NPCs and items and stuff? While I think about that, I am going to make sure one module is active. Back to... Yeah, Vision 5e. There we go. Reload. All right, just looking at it again. Please. Cooking. Cooking. All right. So next I said I wanted to set these walls to be 20. These walls will be 10 because the room doesn't need to be as large as the auditorium. So pop out of 3D view. Because when you say that you're done with walls, you want to actually be done with walls. It's really annoying to go through and redo walls after you've already been like, oh, thank God I'm done. Grab this wall, not that door. But I do have to set the heights for these doors too. Click, Not a door. Set height 20, 0, 8. And this is a door. Already said all that. Door will only go up to 10. I could have done them both. This is just a really bad force of habit. I'm used to just doing them one at a time. Okay. Next we can set these walls. Again, these are going to be 10. It'll be a contained box within the back area. And 0. Update all. Update the doors while we're here. And 0. There we go. So now, if everything worked as I expected, there we go. Tall backstage walls, gaps for doors because I can't fucking change that. So yeah, while I'm modeling it, like these rooms would have a, like essentially these walls would also count as outside walls for half of their height. Because there'd be a roof. Maybe I can cover the gaps with roofs, but if the building has a facade, then the building that's behind it is just a block of rooms. So I don't really have to worry about that too much. It's just putting a ceiling on. The auditorium's probably going to have a vaulted ceiling up high, like 20 feet. That's fine. Then this room's cap would be up above these blocks. This block of rooms back here would just be a block in the middle of the room. As they're on the stage, front and back stage. So yeah, there we go. We have the Monville Theater all blocked out. And say I was running this game, people wanted the 3D, I just didn't have the custom 3D tiles done. I could run it like this, people would still play it. Admittedly, I would probably hide the 3D walls and just run it on a table with a 3D canvas. But it really comes down to personal preference. However you want to run your game. I would run flat map on 3D table. You can run 3D walls if you want. Go nuts. For now, back to 2D. So now I need to investigate the map and find out what actors need to go where and what they need to do. So facade, we already dealt with that. Getting inside the theater is the hard part. There's watch patrols. So yeah, getting in is its own encounter. So maybe if I were doing this in a 3D space, rather than just the white canvas, I would do outside terrain, maybe surrounded by some basic building tiles, so that they can move around in a world, and if they run into the watch, now I just have a 3D map ready to go if there's potential combat or role play, anything like that. Because there are terrain features in the 3D canvas module. All right, so entry hall, it doesn't look like there's anything here. Just some statues, some candelabras, the 2 staircases. Okay, to the right boxes, Private boxes, each with a guilt number on the door, denoting 1 through 6. Even though there's only 5. Oh, 6. Did I not put the... God damn it. Okay. One more wall. Now, ladies and gentlemen, one more wall. Link that up so there's no gaps. Select. And in there. And this one too. 10 and 0. This is a door. And 0. Oh my god, I missed these walls too. God damn it. This wall needs to be 20 and 0. See, make sure you're actually done with walls before you're like, oh my god, I'm done with walls, I can relax. Because then you just take a shot to the morale if you're like, if you find out that you're really not done with walls. I made that 10. These 10 and 0. Why did no one tell me that there was a giant gap in my 3D model? Trusted you guys. You guys have to proofread me. There we go. All right, 1 through 6. Like 6 at the end of the balcony has a plaque that says Monvo Family and Ornate Script. So rather than tell people that there's an ornate plaque here, what I can do two things. One, I can make a tile and actually have it displayed in the world. Probably try and place it above the door if I can, because you can place tiles anywhere, I think. Or option 2, I have it to where I can set a tile in front of the door that displays one time when someone walks over it, a picture of the plaque that I make. Excuse me. But before I start getting into the incredibly technical stuff, there is one other step before we can move on, saying that the map is good. Gotta place lights. So let's do some research. DnD 5e and Abra light range. 5-foot radius, dim light for an additional 5, so a total of 10. Bright for 5, dim for 10. So how we would configure that, we're going to go to light. We're going to draw a light source. Set it for 5 feet out. That is one tile. So light radius. Dim, set for 10, bright for 5. So the brightest area is the 5-foot square, and then it'll taper off near the end. Light animation. So when it comes to the 3D canvas, there's only 4 working light animations, so we're going to pick one of those just to make sure that it works right in the 3D view. I tend to stick with what was it, pulse update. And there's one other step for the 3D. It's not going to work at elevation 0 because it's going to be in the map. So these candelabras are probably going to be pretty high up. These are 10-foot walls, so I'm going to set this at elevation 7. Update. So that means if I pop over to 3D, that this light has been set up and is animating and interacting with the tiles and walls around it. It is unfortunately a bug with 3D canvas that it will just go through the wall, but some you give what you can. You take what you give. And with it being the proper elevation, it's up, it's against the walls. Any tokens that go through here, like let's grab our noble token again. All right, but you can see the light playing off the token too. So it's just another immersion detail that players enjoy. I don't know why the token defaults to ooze. The knight defaults to a snake. I don't know why. I don't know how to fix it, other than changing the model myself. But anyway, we've made one light. So all that's really left for this light is here we can see how it broadcasts into 3D space. So we're gonna go back to 2D, just because it's easier to work with, and go back to the light layer. We need to color our light because it's just broadcasting white light. It is a flame, so the light isn't only going to be white. We need a slight hot orange. Go, and yeah, update. There we go. And it should look the same in 3D. Yep. Broadcasting proper light. Like let's say for example I transition to night, which will darken the whole map. The light is being a light. See? I'm gonna go back to day because I like working in the day scene. Turn off 3D. So we got two more over here, two in the entryway, repeated over here, and two over here. So rather than make that light the same way every time, I'm gonna go to the light layer, click it, Control C, over here, Control V, Control V, Control V, and again. Dude, I'm on fire. It's like I'm a professional foundry worker. A foundry DM. Alright, let's look for any other candelabras, make sure we're not missing anything. Okay, so that is all the animated lights that this scene really needs. If I want, I can do like some type of spotlight on the stage, but I'll dictate that when I find out more about the module. Oh, found one. Oh, found a few. Geez. All right. Oh my. Nope, those are. I don't know what those are. Yet. That should about do it. So there we go. Nice dynamic D&D rules fitting lighting for our map. And it works in the 3D space because I'm smart. I'm so smart. Whipple, I saw you boot up VR chat. Thought I wouldn't notice, but it did. So these statues, it's gonna be interesting because the module doesn't include statues that fit what these are supposed to be. So what I can do is try and model them myself, or I can go into Hero Forge, make standard statue tokens, give them the gray skin and everything. Granted, I have to pay for the model, and then I can import them right into Foundry. Boom, I have a 3D statue that fits within the scene. If I have to go the Hero Forge route, then it'll have to be when I have money. Because I don't remember the pricing for their models. I think it might be like $10 a model. Yeah, $7.99 for a single character model. Can range from $7.99 to 10. The two character models, the cost is $15.98. If you want to get them printed, it's from $12.99 to $19.99, but you get it professionally printed and then you wait for it to arrive. But that is if you want the physical token. I have a 3D printer, so all I need is the STL file, which I can then import into Foundry, and then people can use their 3D token. Another neat little selling point for my games. Did you make your character in Hero Forge? Do you want to see them not flat 2D pictures? So I can actually go two routes with Hero Forge. One is they take PNGs, which is free, of the token that they model in Foundry, or in Hero Forge. I import it to Foundry. Boom, they have a character standee that I use. The other route is they pay for the model. I import it into Foundry. Everything's good. It's what I prefer to do for new players, because then they get a token of the character that they spend a long time making. While also fitting my setting as well. I set you to loop. Fucking loop. I don't know why I didn't loop. Loop, motherfucker. Just... It feels so weird being able to see in HD now. I'm still not used to my glasses. So with that, the 2D of this level is done. So now we can start digging deeper into the module, placing NPCs, placing item piles. I think you guys will really like item piles. Because it's one thing for the DM to say, you have this item, remember it. I like putting the item in the world and then having them go get it, and it adds it to their character sheet. On Vote Family, red velvet lined boxes are 8 feet high inside and overlook the stage. So there we go. I have an idea for the elevation of these boxes. They are 8 feet off the ground, which implies that this area, these stair areas, are also 8 feet high. So when they go up the stairs, they're climbing 8 feet to these boxes that are 8 feet above the ground and the rest of this area. Inside each box, roll or choose one detail from the box clues for the PCs to find. All right, so I think we can already go into the item piles. So in order to randomize this, I can roll it, or I can show you guys how to make a rollable table. So I'm just gonna do that. We're gonna come to rollable tables. Create table, and this is box clues. Create table. Okay, let's see. Details. A gold ring with, oh, can I edit? Yes. Gold ring with an emerald worth 80 GP. Result type text. Okay. Should be on result 2. Oh. Let's just do 1 to 2 just in case somehow they roll a 1. It's supposed to be 2d8 on a roll in order for this table, which I gotta configure somehow because damn. Roll formula 2d8. Boom. There we go. Result number 2 is a potion of invisibility. So these aren't going to generate the item pile. I'm doing this for pure randomization and to show it to you guys so that you can see the rolls. Because I have dice, I could just roll it myself, but I could also put dice on the screen, so I'm going to do that. And also, having this table means that it'll be rollable for every individual game of this that I do. All right, so add a 4th. So 4. Body. Okay, male half elf who gouged his own eyes out. Wisdom save or lose 1d4 sanity points. Still need to work on a way to track sanity. Why am I typing these? I'm dumb. I like doing things the hard way. How many results am I making? 16. 8, 9, 10, 12, 14. Stop that. 15. 16. There we go. Result number 6 is an empty bottle of absinthe. People like to party. Number 7, a fine layer of ash on everything. I just keep typing shit out. I can just copy it. Look at that. So much easier. Number 8. There's a typo in my module. I'm hoping to land one of these sanity checks so that I can start making that. Eleven. Okay. Can I just do this? There we go. Wait, I don't have to keep coming up with titles. And again, this is just so I can do a visual representation as well as a constant resource of randomization for what is in these rooms, because it will change based on who is playing. Did that take? Am I done? Yes. All right, so let's start with the room over here. Room number 1. Draw result. fine layer of white ash on everything. So I'm gonna grab my journal notes, create map note here. I don't know what this is. I don't know why this is here. From one test note. So it'd be kind of boring to just say you walk in and the room's full of ash. So let's go ahead and try and spice things up a bit. Can I edit you, please? Create entry. From one ash. Format, heading 1, room full of ash. So this is going to be the flavor text that I use to tell the players what they see. There's a couple ways to do it. There's the tried and true basic bitch way where we just say you walk in and the room's full of ash. Let's see. We know this is a horror, so we want to try and use horror language. So, and I'm gonna italicize it to indicate that this is what you tell the players. Where's the italic? Italic. You enter the viewing box marked with a 1 on a rusted black above the door. The door itself offers small resistance before finally opening. The inside of the room, normally lined with bright red velvet and plush chairs, are choked with ash. As you look closer at the ash, you get the feeling as you look closer at the ash, you have to looking closely at the ash, you could swear you see burnt bone fragments inside the ash. It is covering every surface from ceiling to floor and every fixture of the room. There we go. And since that's just a journal entry right here, how do I want to do this? Normally I open the door and pause the game, right? Open the journal entry, read it out. But I'm wondering about automation. Automation just makes my life so much easier. Can I trigger it on the door? And 0. Thank you. Door triggers. On open door. I need to place a tile. Grab one of you. This tile. We're just gonna create the tile. We're not gonna fuck with it too much right now on this one. 0. I'm just gonna update this real quick. Hopefully it works. There we go. Alright, so on open doors, select that token. And 2. Is there an identifier I can just use? Yeah. I don't know how to... Oh. Here. Not what I meant. So, here. New again. Repeat my steps, because apparently you fucking broke again. Jesus. Love you too. Okay. Figure it out. Tagger, door 1, journal. Add tag. Update that. From shit. Memory of a goldfish. Door 1, journal. Save. Okay, well. So the reason I went through all that was I can't do sequences on a door, but I can do it on a tile. And using Tagger, I should be able to tell this tile that when the door opens, open the journal. I think. Triggers, action, or no, setup. When. I think I already did that. So yeah, it should have done it with it should trigger whenever this happens. So go to actions. So we're gonna start with pausing the game. Set it to pause. I'm gonna manually unpause because I have to read the journal, so I'm not gonna worry about unpausing the game. So now I need to journal. Where is it? Open a journal. Select entity, so we can open up our journal tab over here. Room 1 ash. We're going to select entity, room 1 ash. There we go. Show to DM only. And do use monks in hand. Update. So now we can test it. Damn. Oh wait, no. Update time. There we go. Fuck. Shit. Fuck. God damn it. Son of a bitch. Then I get to figure out why this isn't fucking working. Fuck. That's set right. It should activate this tile. Trigger. Set up. It's set to active. Door trigger. Okay. Fuck. God damn it. Why is it not working? Maybe if I put the tile under the door and set it to trigger the tile underneath the door? Update. Okay, now? Fuck. Who can trigger it? Controlled by anyone. Oh, I didn't save it. Update. Fuck. God damn it. Oh, I'm gonna have to figure that out, but this is the setup. I have the journal, I have the door, I have the tile, and they're supposed to all play together. Okay. I was kind of hoping the rollable table would roll my dice. Yeah, I'm not allowed to be happy. That's just all it is. I'm not allowed to be happy. I'm not allowed. I'm not allowed. Okay, we're gonna move on. I'll fix that in my own time. It will work before my players see it, I promise you. A potion of invisibility. Cool, we can do an item pile. Awesome. Fuck yeah. So now we go to the compendium. And we're gonna do modern content. Is it in equipment? Potion of invisibility. See that? Gonna drag it on into here. All right. I gotta make an item pile first. Do. Gonna import you. There we go. Okay. I gotta do some steps to make the item pile work properly. No. Configure sheet. Configure sheet. Thank you. The token. Save. Wait. There we go. That's where I do it. Configure. Enabled. So now it's an item pile. Pick update. Go. Leave. So the reason I did that was so now I can come to the items. That's the journal. I'm fucking stupid. Items. Drag it out. Son of a bitch. Figure. Item pile. Update. Remove. Remove. Items. Potion of invisibility. Config update. Leave. Okay. Open sheet. How do I fucking grab an image? Image file. There we go. So we don't want our potion looking like a commoner. I'm gonna click you. You bitch. Yeah. There they are. You know what? No. Let's do this. That one. And that should... You bitch. I forgot to update the token. I updated the art. There we go. So now we have the potion in the world. Cool. I'm trying to remember how to adjust its size. Appearance. 0.25. 5. There we go. Update. So now we have a in-universe token for the potion that is still called commoner. God damn it. Oh boy. Good. No, don't display anything. Cool. So now when a PC goes into this room and they see this icon on the table, right? They can double click it. Why it has a health bar, I'm not going to tell them. It'll open up this menu with the potion of invisibility. They can click it for more information. But they can also drag it into their character's inventory. If I put money in here, they can split it up based on however many characters are in the scene. And then they are done. Let's see, configure file. It's enabled. Enable inspect. Gonna split items. Delete when empty. Yes. Stack items, yes. Okay. That should be all I need. So now if a player takes the potion from that listing and puts it in their inventory and it's the last potion, the token will go away. So yay. And that is how we make an item pile. That is also how we make merchants. Oh boy. Welcome to my world. Oh, I forgot to configure one thing. Let's see. Appearance. Token height. 0.5. Complete token. So what does this look like in 3D? How upset am I gonna get? Boom, boom. Actually, not too upset. It turns it into the 2D standee, which I kind of expected. Where did it go? Where did I go? All right. So easy enough for them to find. Oh my God, stop doing that, please. So we have the journal, the tile. I still have to hide the tile. It's just there for debugging reasons. We have the potion, which still has a health bar. Can I change that? Resources. Display bars, never. I fixed it. So if they double click it, it does the same thing and in 3D. Which in my opinion in 3D it's easier to see because it doesn't blend into the scene. It's like standing up like a hey. It looks like an item pickup from any type of like old school game. Maybe I should make it, no, not taller. Once I get 3D props, if I put chairs and a desk in here, then I just set it on top of the table. So I don't really need to fix anything about it. Not yet, anyway. Excuse me. All right. So we've actually made a lot of progress today. We made all the walls, all the doors for the theater level. We figured out some dimensions too, which will help with modeling it later. Like this is giving me a solid idea of what I need to model and import in order to make this all custom. And we've already got an item pile and a trigger. Item pile works, trigger doesn't. Because you know, I guess I'll just go fuck myself. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. So anyway, yeah, I think I'm just gonna call it for today. I'm gonna end on a high note. Thank you so much everyone for watching. I had a lot of fun today. I think I'm getting into the flow of things. I'm gonna start making overlays of what I'm gonna stream that day so that I stay on topic. But some of the free flow I can tell is pretty fun also. So we're just gonna go ahead and wrap up for today. Thank you so much everyone for sticking around. Thank you Frail for the raid, Whiffle for the lurk, even though you're in VR chat, I see you. And for playing along with my insanity as I figure out the 3D canvas system. I'm really excited to bring you guys these games. Again, if you want to take part in any of my games, I am on startplaying.games. You can hire me as your DM. I have every one shot that I'm making on stream is an available one shot over on startplaying.games. I will run it for you. If you have a custom game, I will also run that. I just need time to learn it. There is my DM link. But until then, I've been Mullerin. I'm gonna get out of here. Everyone, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Take care of yourselves and each other, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Of course, my brother shows up right as I'm about to leave. Island, I hope you enjoyed the stream or you got to see a bit of it. Love you, brother. Take care. Bye-bye, Dragonfire. Everyone, bye-bye. I'm getting out of here. I gotta get food. Okay, bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.